In the beginning, there was only desert. David Ben-Gurion saw what others could not. A future born in the sand. He believed that the future of Israel would emerge from the Negev. Ben-Gurion's vision inspired a dream. That dream became a university. And that university became a promise. A promise to build, to innovate, and to lead. Today, Ben-Gurion University is the heartbeat of the Negev, an engine of growth, resilience, and hope. The future of the Negev depends on BGU, a future built on 4 pillars: education, research, Negev development, community service. 3 campuses, 1 mission. Beersheba, Stable Care, Eilat. On an unimaginable day, our campuses, community, and country were changed forever. October 7th, 2023. Everything changed. In a moment, our lives were shattered. The attack shook our communities, our classrooms. Our hearts were broken. 1 in 10 lives lost on October 7th belong to the BGU community. BGU suffered directly and disproportionately. As a result of the recent Iranian missile strike, 30 BGU buildings suffered extensive damage, and several labs had years of groundbreaking research wiped out. And yet, we stood unified and strong. This is not just recovery. This is resilience. This is leadership. From the heart of the desert, Ben-Gurion University is leading the way forward. In the Negev, across Israel, and around the world. The past gave us vision. The present demands courage. The future is ours to build. BGU is a beacon of light. Rally with us around the best of Israel. Ben-Gurion University of the Negev. Past, present, future. Now more than ever, your support is needed. Together as partners in the remarkable, we can continue to lead the way forward.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here. And for those of you who are live and for those of you who will watch this afterwards, thanks for spending the time to get to know our student community. I'm Terry Alpert. I'm the Vice Chairman of A4BGU, and it is my pleasure to introduce you to 3 of BGU's leaders today. The academic year has just begun. This is the 3rd academic year since the horrific attacks of October 7th, and hopefully it's going to be a very different year than the last 2. I'd like us all to spend a moment together to rejoice in the return of all our living hostages. There's perhaps no one here today who hasn't seen the incredible embrace of 2 of our very own, Noah Argamani and her partner Avinatan Or. With that poignant hug, so many of us felt our souls gently slip back into our bodies and felt ourselves take a full breath, a deep breath, for the first time in what feels like almost forever. Our community has been deeply scarred since that fateful day. As you know, 1 out of every 10 people murdered on October 7th belong to our university family. Their absence is felt in every classroom, in every laboratory, every corner of our campus, not to mention the absence of the many members of our community who are among the fallen soldiers. And yet, amid this pain, we see and feel resilience, and we see and feel community. In today's program, we'll get a taste of the remarkable community of students. We'll hear about their lives and their work. And we will learn about their hopes for the coming academic year and their dreams for the future. But before we begin, I'd like to make sure that everyone here today understands that the BGU student community is very different from the student community at other major universities in Israel. We Americans take for granted what we think of as the normal college experience, where students leave their family homes and they go together, perhaps in another part of the country, to study with students from all over the country and experience life on their own for the first time. Throughout most of Israel, that doesn't happen. If you live near Haifa, chances are you're going to go to the University of Haifa and you're going to be a commuter student. If you live near Tel Aviv, you'll likely go to Tel Aviv University, in Jerusalem to Hebrew University. BGU is different. BGU draws its student body from all over the country. They leave their family homes because they want to experience that sense of community. And in the desert, that community gets shaped. And so we are the one school that offers that American style college community experience. And it's no wonder that our student population is growing faster than any of the others. As we learn from the students, you are going to hear a little bit about each of them individually, and then we're going to have a session with all of them together to answer your questions. So please use the Q&A at the bottom to type in your questions as you're thinking about them, and we will hopefully have time for lots of them in the second half of this program. And with that, I would like you all to join me in welcoming Noah Deckel. Noah?
Hello, everyone.
Okay, I'd like to say a few words, and then I'd love you to jump in and tell us about what things are like on campus. Noah is 30 years old. She is the chairman of the student union. She received her bachelor's from BGU in politics, government, and environmental policy, and she's currently studying at BGU to get her MBA. So Noah, please tell us what it's like to be on campus, and then we're eager to hear more about the student union.
Thank you, Terry. I must say that I'm very glad to be here tonight. Here in Israel is already night, and we are very happy for the opportunity to share a little bit about our work in the student union. So I will open my words and I will say that it's a very exciting week in Ben-Gurion University. It's the first week of the new year, the new semester, and it's a very different week from everything that we have been through in the last 2 years, because for the first time, we really feel the real environment of the Ben-Gurion University. Thousands of students are walking around the halls and all over the campus, coming back to the university. We still saw a lot of students that coming back from Miluim with their weapons or with their uniforms, but we feeling the change in the air. I think, in my personal opinion, that's because the amazing thing that happened in the last few weeks, that all the live hostages came back home, and we really feel that the students coming with a new vibe to the campus, and we hope we can feel it all over the year, and really waiting to open a new and I hope regular year in Be'er Sheva and in Ben-Gurion University. So I will share a little bit about our programs and the events and everything that we are doing in the student union. But I think I will spotlight some number details so you will understand the student community. So we got almost 17,000 students that are member in the union. It's a lot of students compared to other university all over Israel.
So wait, there are 20,000 students in the university.
Yeah,
17,000 of them joined the student union.
yeah, they
So
are
it's
member.
almost all of them.
Yeah, almost
Okay,
all of them.
wow. Okay.
Our goal is that everyone will be a member of the union. Yeah, I think it's part of the student DNA in BGU to be involved, to take part in a special program, to just feel the environment of the university. And a big part of this environment is the student union. So most of the students are a member, and it's amazing. We really like it. And if you want to see the to compare, so almost 5,000 from those students has been in Miluim, in a reserving service in the last 2 years. So almost half
Yeah.
of our community is part of the reserving students, and because of that, a lot of the thing that we done change. So it's really a fact about the union and the university, as you all know. And as a student union that represents so many students, we understand that we need to give them almost every service that they can get in the university. The student union trying to give them the platform to get all those service in the best way that we can give it. And the way that we succeed to doing it is because we have almost 65 students that are working in the student union, like Ro'i and Adi, and they will share their role in the union. But we are the largest association, the largest team association all over Israel, and we're really proud of that. And we try our main goal is to give the students the whole experience of living in Beersheba. We believe that a student that coming to Ben-Gurion University doesn't need just to study and to end these 3 or 4 years with a degree. We believe that where they are coming in to Ben-Gurion University, they in the end they will have a degree, a study degree, and they will have a special experience of living in Beersheba and in the Negev. And this is what we are trying to do here. So we have some of a different department that given a special service for each and every one of the students that we represent. The first department is the academic department. Like we say, all the students that come in to Beersheba, the first thing that they are coming to do is to study. So we built a huge academic department. Every faculty got a coordinator that work here in the student union and give service for the students. The service can be a connection with their faculty or the professor, or helping them just to understand the bureaucracy of the university and how to negative between all the classes and lectures. And it can be just a support, just a student that understands students and can talk with him and to understand what is the problem and to help him step by step to go for all the 3 years in the academic level. We got our event and culture department that give, I think, the other F of the DNA life of students that come to BGU. We creating special events, music shows. We got an amazing pub that's working in the university that actually Roy create, and he will share about it.
Okay.
And we have great parties that I saw that there is in the video some shots of our party in the university, and we really believe that students is part of BGU, not just in the class, afternoon and in the evening, in every activity that he takes. So we try to give them those platform of activities and events and parties and everything that we can give. And we got the welfare department that this department is very special. It's putting a spotlight on every special community that we have in the campus. They giving support to the Arabic community, to the religion Jew community, to the LGBTQ community, and to the international students that come in to Ben-Gurion. And we also got the involvement department that Adi is the head of the involvement department, and she will share a little bit about it. And we
Okay.
got some special department like our Studio Positive that give Pilates classes and yoga, and we got students that are trainees in this amazing studio. And this is a little bit about our activities all over the campus.
Okay. Well, let's hear from two of your leaders. And
Yeah.
then when we come all back together, I think we want to all hear a little bit about um how you had to adapt the student union to these
Mhm.
special times. And what you got. Um, how the student union has helped you through these times as well. So let's bring in Roy.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Roy. So allow me to say a few
Hey.
words so everybody knows a little bit about your background. Uh, Roy Honig is 26 years old, and he manages all of the operations for the student union. And that means making sure special events go smoothly, but it also means being responsible for all the nitty-gritty that no one likes to think about, but that is absolutely vital. Things like insurance and contracts. Roy got his bachelor's at BGU in business, sociology, and anthropology. And this year he is beginning his master's degree in peace and conflict studies. He has served in the Givati Brigade Special Forces as a team sergeant for over 350 days in combat in this war. So, Roy, thank you for your service and all you're doing. And most of us can't imagine how you could be fighting most of these last 2 years and studying and keeping the logistics and operations of the student union running. So give us a few insights into how all of that is even possible.
So, first of all, thank you very much for having us.
Uh,
Maybe I'll start by telling some parts about my job and the role in the war. So, my job in the student union is the head of operations, which is basically meeting all of our workers and our head of departments and listening to their dreams and the programs and events they want to produce, and try to help them to make it happen in the best way. And in the army, I have a kind of similar role as a team sergeant. I have many missions, also logistics, and also in combat that has to happen in the best way. So I think that there's some of things that very similar in both ends. And the war started on my second year of my bachelor's. on October 7th in the morning. I serve in a combat unit, and we are a combat evacuation team. So when there's big events, we have to rush first. So we rushed in the morning, and we started going into the kibbutzim, and we've been there for 4 days until the army withdraw from there. And ever since, I served more than a year now, and I'm serving right now in my unit. And the combination of working in the student union, serving in the army, and being a student has gave me a very, very unique perspective, I think, of how a student in the BGU university is feeling in those complicated years. So as a student who's fighting and studying and working, I think I use many perspectives to try and affect the way we make our services and our events, and the way we treat our students better. And I can tell personally that the experience of being a student and a soldier in the BGU University is very, very special. And the student union, and Noah talked before about our involvement, social involvement department and our academic department. For me to come back from the combat and having the support was, and until now, is very, 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 very helping.
So what's the nature of that support? How has the student union supported you?
So as
And
a
how have
soldier,
you helped
there's a lot
support
of
other soldiers, student soldiers? Yeah.
So as a soldier coming back from the field, there's a lot of uncertainty. You can go back after months in the field and experiencing very traumatic events, and sometimes studying is getting pushed aside and being your the second, maybe second important thing, and you still really want to. All the soldiers they want to finish their degrees, and they made the move to go to Beersheba and experience this amazing city. And sometimes when you go back, you don't really know where to start from. And having the student union with people your age in your situation, that you can just come by, knock on the door, and just say, where to start? Where can I start from? And this has been very helpful.
What's it like when half of the student body was often not on campus, or at least a quarter of the student body wasn't on campus, whether people were participating in Zoom when they could, or not participating at all because they were fighting. When you come back to campus, sometimes your friends are there, sometimes they're not there. How does the community knit together when people are coming and going?
From my personal experience and being in combat for so long, I really have a very unique role.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm lucky, maybe it's unfortunate, but I did spend most of the last couple of years in combat. So having from the WhatsApp groups of my degree, and people are helping to record and type everything and send it to the guys in the combat field, and having the WhatsApp groups of the Aguda. We have WhatsApp groups for soldiers that providing all the information and is available basically 24/7. And having that the back of the support is just making you feeling more confident, and feeling to be able to finish what you started before all of this horrific thing happened.
Yeah. Well, here you are right with all of us, and yet you're with your unit. You're not on campus. And so I think this is a perfect example of how integrated you feel. So
Yeah,
thank
it
you
became
for
a second
sharing that.
nature.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let's hear from your colleague, Adi.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome, Adi. Everybody,
Thanks, Terry.
this is Adi Schneerson. She's 25 years old and she is an undergrad in the environmental science, geoinformatics. Did I say that right?
Yep.
And in urban planning departments. She's the head of the social involvement department at the student union. So, Adi, what is the social involvement department at the student union? Because it certainly sounds like all of the student union is social involvement. So,
Yeah. Thanks, Terry, and thanks again for having us and for inviting us. This is a really great opportunity. So the social involvement office in the BGU union is actually just one of the departments. In my role, our role is to connect the student to maybe the greater Beersheba community. Actually show them maybe what's beyond their studies and what they came to study and they came to live here for a few years, and we want to connect them to the bigger picture. Our department deals with a lot of different topics under social involvement. There's a lot of things that go under that umbrella. One of the things that we're doing in our department is connecting students to job opportunities here in Beersheba and career opportunities in the Negev, helping them with things like LinkedIn lectures or how to write your resume, or all these different more career-oriented skills that we can give them. Another one of the things that is under our department is actually all the clubs, like the student-led clubs and organizations here on campus. These are divided into 7 different topics, whether it's environmental clubs or political clubs or gender clubs or wellness. So we have all these different clubs and organizations that are totally volunteer-led by students. So in our department, we actually help them kind of build their plan for the year, and we help them plan events, whether it's lectures or debates or whatever they have in mind. So that's one of our goals. Every student who comes to BGU, we want them to feel that they have to join a club and they have to join an organization and they have to get into things quickly. Just like it's on campuses in the US, we want them to feel that they have to take part, that they should take part in something that's beyond their studies. Another one of our projects in the social involvement office is actually a community gardens project.
okay.
The BGU student union kind of recognized that there's a gap between our Beersheba local residents and students, because we come for a few years and then we leave, or hopefully not leave. And then there's these locals here that are living here, and this is their city, and we want to bridge that gap. And one of the most meaningful and one of the most beautiful ways that we found a way to do that is through community gardens. We actually build community gardens in the different older neighborhoods of Beersheba, which is where most of the students live. So we build this garden, and through the work together, and through like the planting and the soil and choosing what's going to be in the garden and building different things in the neighborhood, through that we've actually seen a really nice connection between students and local residents. So that's one of the opportunities that we give students to take part in that, and to be part of something that's a little bit bigger and more of like a placemaking project. And I'll say, in terms of the war and in terms of the things that have changed here, the social involvement office obviously we have our day-to-day lives, which is the things that I just mentioned. But in the times of crisis, we're also one of the departments that's put into action. In the last 2 years, we've done a lot of projects, whether it's volunteer work with elderly homes or residents that don't have the opportunity to maybe leave their house and go shopping, or they need help with their dog walking, or their kids. Residents, but also just residents that are actively part of the war, whether it's in reserves or something like that. And in the Iranian war, which was the war within a war that we had here in the summer, there were teams of students who stayed here in Beersheba, and they broke out into different teams, and we went to clean bomb shelters all over the city. We got to almost 100 bomb shelters that we cleaned, whether it's private bomb shelters or public bomb shelters. But we saw a need for bomb shelter cleaning, and the students stepped in, and they took part in this completely by volunteer work, all of them. And we cleaned these bomb shelters and made people have the opportunity to stay safe in times of crisis. So that's our work with the municipality with all these different organizations here in Beersheba. But the students definitely have a lot of impact.
Yeah, no, you've really illustrated some of the ways in which the students are fully integrated with the community. Again, that's something that is very unique to BGU and to the Negev. And
Definitely.
Seeing the way everybody stood up and participated to help, build the future society is just very heartwarming. So let's invite your colleagues back to join us. Noah and Roy, come on back. And let's chat all together. Okay. Hey, everybody. So
Hello.
we didn't learn much about each
Hello.
of your personal lives. Roy, we probably learned the most about yours, but is there anything you want to share with us about yourselves, your family, um, your dreams, your ambition?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Um, so I'm now 27. I'm originally from Moshav Aderet, which is a small town next to Jerusalem. I have three sisters, and I think my dream or my plan, I really want to continue and make an impact. I really want to continue and find myself a place that I can impact on many people's life and try to do the you said the boring part, but the very important part of making things the right way and efficient. And I think that my role in the student union that make think the efficient way and yeah, it makes me very happy. Yeah,
You make the clocks tick, you make the trains run on time, right? That kind of thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
trying to.
And how often do most of us in society take those things for granted? And yet it's the hard work of people who have that attention to detail who keep it all going. So Noah, how about your personal life?
Wow. I must say that before October 7, I thought that I will finish my degree, my first degree in BGU, and I will meet with my husband back to the center of Israel. We both from Rishon LeZion, it's next to Tel Aviv. And my life was very planned. I know exactly what I want to do, and everything was online. And after October 7, everything changed in my vision for me. I decided to stay in Beersheba. I decided to try and be elected to this role, to be the chairperson of the student union. And for now, I'm dreaming about changing, I think, or be part of the change for the young people in Israel. I think that all of us, me, Ro'i, and Adi, feeling that we want to do an impact. I will say on my own that I want to do an impact of the life of the young people in Israel, but in the way that our generation believe it's right. So I hope that I will find myself in a position that can help and to continue these effects that we are doing in the student union.
Wonderful. Adi, tell us a little bit.
Sure. I think that one of the most important, like, kind of personality shaping things that I've been through, not just in the past 2 years, but also just like this whole experience. I actually grew up in Boston. We grew up with so Israeli parents who moved, and they meant to stay a year, and they stayed 18 years. So that's one of the biggest things I think that's shaped my personality, and definitely helped me make the decision of moving here and coming to study in BGU and serving the army. Definitely a whole decision. But I think one of the most challenging things is in the past 2 years trying to find the balance between my friends and the American narrative of what's going on here and me. So, and like to see how life is for me here and to see how life is when I'm talking to my friends back at home or back in Boston. So I think that's one of the things that's been challenging. But
So
I think looking,
what do
yeah,
you tell your friends back in Boston, and what do you think they least understand? Because it's very possible that many of us here on this webinar fall in that same category. So, if you think of us as maybe your friends' parents or something like that, what do you wish you could get through to us so that we'd know what life is really like for
that's
you?
a great question, and a question I get asked a lot. I think that these things like this webinar and like all the different like narrative sharing experiences, but whether it's webinars or meetings or delegacy groups that come and see what's going on is really important. I think it's hard to see from the outside and to feel the empathy of what's going on here, but every effort that we can do to make people kind of understand how it feels to live here is important.
So,
I
but you're
think
reminding us to come with our feet, stand on the ground, be on campus, be in Israel, and
first of all, you
experience it
guys
for
are
ourselves.
you're all welcome.
Yeah, thank
You're all
you.
welcome. The campus will welcome you with open hands, with open arms. But I think it's hard to like transfer the mentality and like the reality of what's going on here abroad. It's a big challenge. I think efforts like this are really important. Um, and I think that the situation is complicated. It's not one or the other. It's not black or white. It's every person has an experience. Noah, Ro'i, and my experiences are all different. And so it's really like a complex situation. And I think being exposed to more voices and being exposed to students and their experiences, or just Israelis in general and their experiences, is important. Yeah.
Okay. So, whoever wants to take this one, feel free to jump in, but we'd really like to get an understanding of how how the services you may offer at the student union may need to change this year versus what you've done in years past, and really what your dreams are for the student union going forward, longer term. So who wants to take that? Noah, is that you?
I will start.
Okay.
Um, I think uh, my dream for this year for the students is just a regular year. It sounds different. It sounds, I don't know, maybe it sounds basic, but
You want
just
normal? Is that what you said?
normal
You
year.
want normal?
Yeah, I want a normal year. I want students that come into classes, coming back to the campus. I want Adi and her team will can do everything on their planning and all the events they want to do. I want Ro'i to continue and create events in the Aguda Pub. I want the students to be in the campus, just be in the campus in Beersheba and feel the real experience of being a student in Ben-Gurion University, like I felt in my first degree. And I hope that we can continue and create new connections between communities and between students. And I really hope just to do that.
Wonderful. I don't know how to say the Yiddish expression, but I grew up with, from your mouth to God's ears, right?
Ah.
So in every language, I think,
Perspective.
let that
Yeah.
be what this year is like. Um, One of our participants, Bill Weisenthal, has asked whether the university offers experiences for people in the community to come and experience things on campus. So you spoke a bit about how um, the students, go out in the community, how you live in the community, how you support the residents of the community. Um, are there opportunities for members of the community to get a taste of the research and the learning and the cultural activities on campus?
Roy, go for it.
Roy, you called it.
Yeah.
It's yours.
So we and yeah, so the students are having many fairs, I think is the word. We are trying to put outside of the classes as much of the work that has been done in the new university for everyone to see and experience and ask the questions and try to be as much as involved around the year with collaborations with a lot of other departments in the university. And we really want to make sure that the students can do to see someone from other faculty and maybe see a stand of other research going on and ask them and be curious. And so we try to make a lot of events like this and and make things very outside and everybody can see everything.
Okay. So each of you are an example of students coming from elsewhere to the university, right? You made the decision to join a community. What attracted you the most to BGU? And what do you tell your younger siblings' friends, other young people around the country who are thinking about what university to go to? What do you share with them about your choice? Adi, it looks like
Yeah,
you're
I
ready to
think
take this one, so
it's a
jump
great
in.
question, and it's a question that comes up all year round. Why
Okay.
do we pick BGU, and why should our siblings come here, or our friends from the army? Doesn't matter. Um, I'm biased, but I will say that it's like a known thing that the BGU experience is really special and really unique in Israel. I think one of the biggest reasons for that is really that people move to Beersheba to study here, and like the 3 or 4 neighborhoods around the university have really been conquered by students, and we see a lot of students living there side to side with Beersheba locals. That's really a special experience. Like the person who my friend who I study with in the class, he's also the barman at the restaurant that's next to our house, and he's also the neighbor of my roommate. It's all connected because we're all living here and it's all so close. So we've kind of created this little ecosystem that's special to here. And just like Noah said, we have the student union that gives support in all these different fields that the other universities don't offer. The parties or the concerts or the volunteer work or the different services that the student union offers are really, really unique to here. And that's something that draws a lot of students to move here, to really copy their lives from one place to another for 3 years. It's a big commitment that students make because the experience here is so special and really unique next to other universities in the country.
So after you get all your degrees, what are your plans? And where do you hope to settle and build your lives?
I'll say one small thing, and then you guys take it. I'll say that one of the things that we deal with and we're working for in the social development office is to create some sort of we want to create like a fork in the road for students. We don't want it to be obvious that they come to Beersheba and they leave because of whether it's job opportunities or the proximity to the beach or whatever, all the options that the country offers. We want them to have actually a fork in the road, so they have to really make a decision. We want to create job opportunities here in the Negev. We want to show them what the city has to offer. I see myself living here in Beersheba or in the Negev area. I think it's important that we're here, important also in terms of like urban planning, which is my studies, maybe to develop this area and to make Beersheba really like a metropolitan. We don't want Tel Aviv to be the only metro in the country. We want to kind of spread out the focus. And we're definitely on a path there in terms of urban planning, in terms of the countries where we're putting the big guns. So Beersheba is definitely on the map and definitely a place that's that's heading in a good direction.
And Noah?
I will add to it. I really hope to stay in Beersheba. It's really my dream, my husband's dream, to stay in the south of Israel in total. And I really believe that when you find a community that you connect with and you feel that place become your home, it's the best way of living, to stay, to feel connected, to build your house in this place. So I really hope to stay in Beersheba. I don't know what next year will create, but I really wish to stay here. Yeah.
And Roy?
I feel the same, and I think maybe I already chose because I finished my bachelor's last year, and during the war and the sense of community and family in Beersheba, with all your friends are living around, experiencing the same life, especially in those 2 very complicated years, it's already feels like home, and everything is so familiar already, and the city is just just starting to grow. As Adi said, it feels like this is the place to be in right now in Israel, and there's so many opportunities and so much to develop and create in this area. It's really exciting. There's a feel of excitement, really.
I am watching you three bring David Ben-Gurion's dream to life. And for me, I just want to share a little bit about myself with you guys and with our audience. Um, I first found out that the university even existed in 2006. That was my husband's and my first trip to Israel together. I had been there earlier when I was 16 in 79, but this was the first time we were going together, and we were on a study mission. And the mission wanted us to emerge from the midbar, from the wilderness. And so we began in the Negev. And on our first day, I was at the kibbutz at Sde Boker, and saw David Ben-Gurion's house in his retirement and heard about the dream that the future of Israel had to emerge from the desert. And long before there were videos and brochures, the logic of that resonated with me. And this being 2006, I couldn't just pick up my smartphone and, find out more. So it wasn't until I got back to the US that I heard that there was a university that was very much a part of making this dream a reality. And that was when I Googled and found out the university existed. And I just fell in love with the mission. And then in 2015, when my own daughters were high school and college age, my family, my husband and I took our daughters on our first family trip to Israel, and we spent a full day at the university. And that was when what became a rational belief that, yeah, this makes sense. Israel is 60% of Israel is desert, but almost nobody lives there. We have got to not only make that habitable, we have to make a community there thrive. And at that point, my husband, my daughters, and I all became very emotionally connected. And in 2019, when I was working to sell my own entrepreneurial venture, and people would ask me what my next professional chapter was, all I knew was that somehow it had to be something around BGU. And of course, I dove in, and I work with so many of our faculty entrepreneurs and our student entrepreneurs in the Entrepreneurship Center, but being with you, our students, and our recent alumni, it fills my heart. And so, I want to thank you, not just each of you for being who you are, but, share it with your colleagues and your friends, because you as a generation inspire all of us and give all of us just tremendous hope for the future. And so thank you for all you're doing to build community, to build the state of Israel, to strengthen the Jewish people. Um, you're doing the work of humanity. So I'd also like to thank the great team at Americans for BGU who helped to put together this and all of our many fabulous programs. Americans for BGU, we exist for two reasons. Really one reason. We exist to support and promote this remarkable university. And that means providing it with financial resources and building awareness of the great work that goes on there. And those things work obviously hand in hand. If you'd like to participate financially, we would love your help. And so we're putting on the screen a QR code, which you're welcome to scan, which will make it easy for you to contribute to our Way Forward campaign. Our Way Forward campaign is a general campaign where the funds will be put to the purpose most needed. If you'd prefer to specify and support something in particular, please just let us know. You'll have an opportunity there as well. I'd also like to tell you a little bit about Ben-Gurion Day in the USA. Those of you here in the States, you know, we have President's Day. Most of you may be old enough to remember when we didn't used to have President's Day. We had two holidays. We had George Washington's birthday and Abraham Lincoln's birthday. Well, David Ben-Gurion is the George Washington of Israel, the founding father of Israel. And therefore in Israel, he is celebrated and everyone learns about his vision. And this is something we at Americans for Ben-Gurion University have been trying to build here in the States as well. And so we will have a special program on Ben-Gurion Day, which is November 19th. And we hope very much you will tune in to join us. Thank you all for coming today. Your participation in our community means the world to us. The university, as you've heard many times, and hopefully came to life for you today, is the beating heart of the Negev, the 60%, Israel's lower 60%, an area that is vital to Israel's future. And thank you. Thank you for being a part.